Now, I was discussing last time, I believe we had one of these little sessions, I was discussing my club, which I have here in this place I live at the moment. And one of the most important things about it is I partly own it. In fact, I treat it as an extension of my own home, effectively, and therefore, of course, you know, rather than sit and listen to the wife whisper on about whatever, you know, butterflies and sewing, I'd rather come to my club in the evenings and, you know, spend some time with a large whiskey and a little water and some cigar. You see, we allow smoking indoors because, unlike this dreadful country, I don't really believe in democracy. I mean, look at democracy, shall we? Let's examine what democracy has actually achieved in in America, for example. You let idiots vote, and the consequence of that is that they will elect idiots. Look at the track record of the American voting public in the last 30 or so years, or 40 years. In my lifetime, I mean, you had, apart from the last chap, this chap at the moment who I won't comment on, Barack Osama or Obama, or there's too many Osamas and Obamas and things like that in the world, if you ask me, I don't mind. But let's examine the previous one. Some odd fellow called W. He was an alcoholic at one point, and then he was a Christian, and that's always a bad thing. I mean, you know, these people that sort of do bad in the first bit of their lives and then claim to find God, and then try and impose all that upon the rest of us who don't believe a bloody word of it. I mean, really, I am English, for God's sake. I'm a member of the Church of England, and the only damn good thing about that is that the Church allows people who to be members who don't believe a fucking word of it. I mean, I'm a complete atheist. I mean, the Church of England effectively exists to allow a lot of people who like dressing up in frocks and putting fancy dress hats on to have a place in society, and, you know, abuse choir boys and have tea with boring women at bishops' tea parties and that kind of thing, and do a job in the local community, which nobody quite knows what exactly it is, but I'm sure they do some good somewhere. I mean, Christ knows I've never noticed, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, really, it keeps them off the streets and out of prison. Not nearly all the time, except in the case of the Roman Catholics, who seem to spend an awful lot of their time abusing everybody else, both sexually and indeed denominationally as well. Anyway, so Bush, what a fool. And before that, you had that awful, you know, what was his name? Clinton. I mean, take one bloody letter out of it, it sounds like he's on clit most of the time, and apparently he was, apart from his wife, of course, complete lesbian. I mean, you know, if you want to elect a used car salesman from a little state in the middle of fucking nowhere, you can be my guest, but don't impose upon the rest of the world. Please try not to, you know, have a bit of sense, damn you. Have some decorum, foolish American twits. No wonder your country's gone down the tubes, you know, having dickheads like that as your leaders. And the chap before him only served for one term. The other, the Bush the Elder, I mean, what a boring one entity he was, I mean, goodness sake. Another little earnest man who ran oil wells and wanted to go to war a lot. And the one before that, I mean, I don't think you had a president before that. For 8 years, I think you had an actor playing the role, didn't you? Was that his job? because you certainly, well, it was quite convincing in some ways. I almost listened to him occasionally and thought, my God, that man's, almost trying to be president of the United States. And he is, but he was like that governor fellow of California, some big bloke with muscles, odd fellow to have as your governor, but who am I to argue with the good burghers of California? I mean, they obviously know what they're doing. And then before that, you had a peanut farmer. Now, I'm sure it was a jolly good peanut farm. I'm sure his peanuts were exemplary. But to have him as president of your country, the so-called what I laughingly like to hear described as the leader of the free world. Are you mad? He farmed peanuts. Peanuts. And you made him leader of the free world. I mean, I hate to say it, because, well, no, I don't actually. You are a bunch of cocks. And before that, of course, you had that rather clumsy one. I think his name was, he was a car, wasn't he? Did he manufacture cars? The Ford. Yeah, chap with the oval. I mean, he was a dickhead. He was clumsy. I was clumsy, and Mrs. Ford was a bit of a drunk, but apart from that. And then, of course, you actually had a decent one before that. And I blame you thoroughly, and certainly this was your fault, America, because you got rid of the only one who was actually any bloody good. Nixon he might not have been the most pleasant chap in the world, but my God, he was better than some of the other bloody idiots. He was intelligent. He was a very good foreign affairs thinker, along with, of course, Kissinger, who always struck me as a bit of a throwback to the Nazi era, but we won't go there. We might later. It was an interesting era, that period. You chaps were a bit not quite sure of where you were going to go in the 1930s, Just remember that, you freedom-loving nutcases. You see, Nixon, what did he do? I mean, he opened up China. He was the very first leader to do so. And the only one that could, because you knew he wasn't a communist. You were running around finding reds under the bed everywhere. Personally, if they'd have been female, I'd shagged them first. But you didn't, you just put them in prison because you got very scared in the 1950s and had some odd fellow telling you that they were all, your civilization was about to come down because somebody was expressing a left-wing opinion somewhere at a dinner party. Personally, I'd have them shot, but that's just me. So he opened up China, and he also was the first one to sign the nuclear limitation treaties with those Russian fellows. Who was the Russian at the time? Was it Khrushchev or was it Brezhnev by then? It was probably Brezhnev by the time the SALT was signed. The one with the eyebrows died in 1976, but carried on as leader till about 81. I thought that was interesting. Good period of foreign affairs around about that time. Of course, he invaded Afghanistan while being dead, which is quite an accomplishment. Not many leaders manage to invade countries while being technically dead. So you've got to say, those Russians knew their stuff. Anyway, so Nixon was good, and you got